Hi. If you're in San Francisco, please come see me do stand-up comedy as part of SF SKETCHFEST on January 22nd at 7:30 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. I'm doing 2 shows. I am co-headlining, which means I'm doing 35 minutes. Wow. So if you're in that area, come through, dog. I love to pack that place with Asian people and confuse the hell out of the club owners. Also, if you're in LA, I'm going to be practicing for that set on January 15th at the Airliner. That's in Lincoln Heights, 8 p.m. Ticket link is available in the episode description below, or just go to my Instagram and click on my bio link, or just Google Hack City LA. Hope to see you there.
Welcome to another episode of Asian Not Asian Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Nguyen. Today is December 20th, 2021, and we're coming at you from the 2 places where Asian people come from, which is New York City and the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where we're from. And this episode's a little different because it's just me, Mike Nguyen, today. Fumi Abe, who's usually the co-host / main host, is he is truly Japanese. And that means 2 things. That one, he's truly Japanese, and he's so Japanese to the core that when he goes on vacation, 2 things happen. 1, he leaves his family completely and doesn't even talk to them. And 2, he goes to Hawaii because that's a wild Japanese thing for him to do. Shout out to him. He's just chilling. And because he's away and it's just me, and because I don't believe in myself because I'm a straight Asian male, I have 2 other people who are going to help me out with this. So it's a little bit of a different format, but I'm going to bring them on right now just because we can get it going. All right. So first, welcome to the show, comedian, musician, icon, Dylan Adler.
Mike, I believe in you. I believe in you. So
this is why I have you on. That's why I have you on, so you can tell me these things, and I'm going to need a lot of that. I'm going to need a lot of this loving. You see this whole thing I just did? I actually had to write all that out because usually I just go off the vibe of whatever craziness Fumi throws at me. I go, yeah, man, sure, bruh. You know, I just hit it right back at him. But without him here, I had to write everything down. That's how much I need a teleprompter for my own fucking podcast. This is what's going on. All right, and that's welcome, Dylan. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
And also welcome to the show, comedian, writer, content maven, and former tech Asian, Jenny Arimoto. What up?
Oh my gosh, Mike, I believe in you kind of, but I believe in us more as a whole.
Wait, yeah.
Because I'm a Japanese. We believe in the collective, so we're stronger together.
Can I also say that I just realized I've replaced one Japanese person with more Japanese people.
With more Japanese people.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how
What I did not know that was going to happen. And now I have even more Japanese people than before.
You have a type.
You have 1.5 now.
Do you think that's a thing? Do you ever think that like sometimes to make the best combination, you need to have like a jungle Asian and like a I don't know what the other fancy Asian?
Oh, fancy Asian and jungle Asian, as Ali Wong said. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Do you ever
Yeah.
think like the best duos can sometimes they need to be like, okay, you need a Cambodian guy and a Hong Kong guy. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, because this is what happens right now. Both of Dylan and I just quietly nodded, and we're waiting for the other person to speak.
I was waiting for Jenny to start, so we do need that balance of kind of like, you know, waiting for people to speak, and you know that the bowing, and you know just you know that, and then the mix of the other Asian to balance that out.
Exactly.
I think it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Well, I will unbalance all of us and by being the straight Asian male representation here. I had legit first thought about making this an all mic show. A show where it was just going to be me, you know, like Bill Burr or something, except where I talk very quietly about the 2 things which I'm very interested in. One, political economic theory, and the other one is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But then Fumi he's vowed to always cut out any mention of jiu-jitsu, so the episode would have been like 2 minutes long, and it would have just been me like quietly going like, so what do we think about the Fed entering into ending its asset purchase program early and leaving the economy potentially in a bad situation with fears of rising interest rates, topping out at 1.4%. That's what I thought was going to happen. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a fan of this podcast, and I would have skipped that episode. I'm sorry. I would have.
The honesty.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Once again, thank you, Dylan and Jenny, for joining. Are you guys ready to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah!
Let's do
All right,
it.
the first thing we do always is we are going to talk about Patreon. What is Patreon? It's the best way to support this podcast. More money means more opportunity for us to me and Fumi to be able to do this full time. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but with your money, we get an editor, we have a producer, we have all sorts of people who can help us out, and then we use the money also to cover things that we need to pay for. So like, for example, God willing, we're going to go to SF SKETCHFEST. That's in like a month. But we can use the money for covering expenses like that, and it's a great way to support the pod. You get plenty of rewards, shout outs. We slide into DMs. There's bonus episodes. It's a lot of fun. And one of the fun things that we do if you're a Patreon supporter is we guess your ethnicity. Very racist game, but Fumi and I are excellent at it. And since Fumi's not here, I'm going to incorporate Jenny and Dylan into the problematic race guessing game. I think our fans are starting to fuck with us, and because you can put all sorts of names in there or omit all sorts of names. So here's the first one: Eddie Alice.
Oh my
I
God.
don't-
Those are two first
Yeah, right?
names.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be. It's potentially. I didn't look into it because I didn't want to cheat, but this potentially could be two people. That sometimes happens where couples will go in together because, hey, it's tough out there for millennials to make money. But Eddie Alice, what do we think? Go ahead, just riff. What do we think?
Vibing, I'm getting Asian boy Eddie, white girlfriend Alice.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what I'm feeling. Yeah.
I was
Okay.
imagining like a cool artist type. Then that's their like
Oh.
art name.
I
like
see it.
Oh.
it's like I go by Eddie Alice.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They work with sand somehow.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
work
that.
with sand.
I see it.
They don't refer to themselves as a couple. They refer to themselves as like an idea, that kind of thing. So
Yes.
yeah, you guys are idea Asians.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
they
go with
run
that.
an open mic, but it's a variety mic. It's not just it's comedy and music and poetry.
You crossed the line, Dylan.
Sorry,
oh, that's
sorry.
terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, this next one, just David. Come on,
David.
yo, just go with vibes. Go with vibes. What do we feel, David?
Chang, Chinese. That's what
Yeah.
I want.
Yo,
Chinese.
damn.
Okay, it's David Chang. He's very
David Chang
Chang.
from
Love
David
it's
Chang
David Chang.
Chinese.
Yes.
Nice one, David. You know what? I 100%. I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure you got it right. I'm pretty sure. That's just the energy of our fans is David Chang. So
Yeah.
Chinese David Chang.
Chinese Chang.
Okay, here's another one. Andrew Cham. Cham. Cham.
Chom?
CHAM.
Cham. Cham. Yeah.
Andrew Cham.
Yeah.
Indonesian.
I was gonna say
Ooh.
Cambodian, but I don't know
Yes.
anything.
Yes. Yes. This is excellent fancy Asian energy.
Yeah.
Just
don't know
complete
anything.
ignorance.
This
Complete
one of
ignorance.
these jungly.
I'm
They wear
feeling-
loincloths. Yeah.
We're like exoticized. I'm really feeling like it's.
I also feel there is such a civilization as the Cham peoples, and so I do feel kind of like this guy. Hey, from not Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian. I'm getting that, Andrew.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this person is Indonesian exotic Asian. Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's our last one. Tyrone Karas. Caras. Karas. This is a tricky one. I don't know Karas.
I don't know
Karas. I want to say this is almost like Colombian.
Yeah. Filipino maybe?
I was thinking Filipino, but then I was like,
Yep.
some sort of, the AAPI, Pacific Islander half. Somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Like Micronesian. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's throw it in there. This person is Micronesian Colombian. All right, we got it as usual. 4 for 4.
Wow.
Everybody, if you want to get up on this game, just go to Patreon. Find us on Patreon, patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod, and give us your money. Also, we're only doing 4 at a time because we're getting a good number of people contributing to our Patreon, which is great. But we can only do a few at a time. So be patient. If you haven't heard your name yet, we're working through it. All right. We want to keep going on with this podcast, and the name of this podcast is Asian Not Asian, and we always like to ask each other what kind of Asian we were this week, because being Asian American is so fucking confusing and it makes no fucking sense, and that's what's kind of fun about it. So I want to you know what, I'm gonna go first. I'm going to say what kind of Asian I was, which is I am a holding it down Asian, okay? I'm holding it down because it's just me in my freezing bedroom with my 2 guests, Dylan and Jenny. Yeah. Jenny, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I would describe myself as a very online Asian.
Okay.
I've just been spending.
Why?
One, I have COVID right now, and so
okay. Oh my God.
Isolating.
Shit.
And so I've been living on the internet. Like this is such 2020 vibes of like screen headache and not feeling productive, because I was like, oh, maybe I should write a pilot, but instead I've just been just watching movies, and catching up on culture. Same. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is that I made a quick little video because I've been watching so many movies. I was watching this rom-com on Netflix called Love Hard, which features Asian male leads, and it centers around a white woman. And there's just one line that caught me, which is that they're looking at a dating profile of a half Asian guy, and they kind of are listing why he's perfect. And one of the things that they list on there is that he is Asian American. And I just thought it was so forced and unnatural. And so I made a very quick TikTok about it, not anything other than kind of pointing out how weird it is to say Asian American in that list, especially coming from a white woman, right? So it was just like, this guy's so hot. He's like educated and he's Asian American and he's hot and like whatever. And I'm like, that's just so weird. Yeah. So I made a video, whatever. I put it up on TikTok. Generally, reception has been positive because I don't think I said anything too harmful. But the weirdest thing has been that the most negative comments have been coming from Asian men who are like
straight Asian men
represent. Asian men who are like, Asian women just can't let Asian men have their time, like to shine,
dang.
or like things like that. And I've rarely make things like this that are like specific, I guess, to Asian men. And so I've never had the experience of having Asian men come into my comments.
You beautiful child of summer. Wow. You've never had this happen to you?
You've never had that? Yet. I've had it so many times, girl.
Dylan, yes.
Straight Asians have come for me before.
Yes.
And I see like Young Me post, friend of the pod. I'm not even on this podcast.
Friend of the pod,
Young Me Mayor, post about this, and I'm just like, oh, this is what it feels like. Where it's like an Asian woman trying to take my moment away from me of white people liking me. I was like, this is so crazy. I'm on your side. This is not even about anything. It's about just like them saying Asian American a lot.
That's the funny thing is I really liked that whole clip and how you were doing it.
It was funny.
It is funny because in the movie in the movie, what's really weird and what I think you're trying to say is that it's so weird that they call out and the way they kind of like cram it in there.
Yes, exactly.
And I was just thinking about how if I was like talking to you guys or we're always texting each other, and I would never be like, hey, Asian American friends, These are all my Asian American friends. How's it going? I'm saying? I would almost never say it that way. You know what I'm saying? I would probably be like, here are my jerk comedy friends first. That's probably like the first thing I would say. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, then maybe I would say like, I feel like sometimes saying you're Asian American or like listing it out that way is like almost, it's not that it's not important. It's just that like, it's such a formal way of saying it. You would probably say first like, oh yeah, I grew up in California. Yeah, I'm Viet. Haha. Like it's like one of the things you add on. It's not like here's my resume and one of the things happens to be I'm Asian American.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like in the movie example. I'm like he's hot. We can see that he's hot. If he's great, he's great. Just you don't have to call out that he's Asian. And I was
Yes.
making a joke to my friends. I was like, if a white person ever looked at my
Yes.
picture and was talking about me, someone else was like, oh, she's awesome, she's funny, she's smart, she's Asian American, I'd be like, a hate crime. That's a hate crime. Like, don't say that.
It'd be so weird.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, so now I kind of feel the weird wrath of the Asian straight dude community kind of commenting.
I mean, first of all, as a representative from this community, I just want to say, watch it, okay? We're coming for you. We're always watching. We're always listening. No. And I was also going to say too, like, I haven't heard from this like subsect of people in a little while. I feel I've done a good job of blocking a lot of people, and I think in general the community, and you guys can disagree, like I feel the community, quote unquote, of whatever, like the conversation has kind of, we have more things to talk about. I think it used to be where the conversation was really straight Asian dudes getting triggered by certain things and getting super mad or whatever. And now there's like all sorts of different things, all sorts of different stories we can talk about, and like, I guess, like threads of things that we can like talk about, whether it's comedy things or the movie itself, right? Those are all like fun things. So I'm sorry that happened. Was I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, like
I think it means I made it though,
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
I'm
Yes.
getting eyeballs on my things, so what can I say?
Yeah.
You're definitely on a
territory.
list. You're on a list somewhere, Jenny.
Yeah.
You
Cheers
are.
to
Dylan,
that.
what has this happened to you too?
When I've tweeted about Asian things before, some people have come from me because I'm like about the biracial thing, about it's like,
Yes.
wow, you're not Asian, you're like mixed,
Oh,
and I'm
fuck,
like,
right.
I am. That's why I like comment with just a voice memo. I am.
To me.
Stop. But it's usually when like something I like tweet or like something about like being Asian goes like viral, then I get it. But then I like, it usually kind of like goes away in that way afterwards. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know in the moment it's like, but
Yeah.
it does like pass. It's
Yeah.
It does
totally.
feel like people who get, upset about these sort of things, they become kind of like 23andMe, they're like, oh, you're not 100%,
Sure,
Chinese from this region of China, therefore you're not authentically blah, 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 because
Yeah.
you actually are 30% of this and 10%, Y chromosome or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And like, and I don't know why, I don't know, people like, you need to be exactly hit on the head
Yes.
the
Yeah.
exact demographic, or you can't talk, and then you have to talk about it in the exact same certain way. You know what I'm saying?
And it was also
Totally.
white people coming from me too, like
Mm.
they're like, you're not Asian, you're like half, you're like mixed, you're not Asian, and I'm like, you should shut the fuck up. You should shut the fuck up. That was like what made my blood boil. Like, I mean,
Wow.
Asians coming from me, I was like, but then
Yeah.
white people like saying that, I was like, literally put tape over your mouth.
Yeah.
So
Let's not forget about the white people just coming in. We haven't forgotten you guys,
We
okay?
haven't
Don't worry.
forgotten. You are the worst.
Yes. never forget.
With
You are the worst,
yeah.
man. Dylan, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was a homesick mama's boy Asian this week.
There you go.
I was just
There you
feeling
go.
homesick. I stayed in LA for a little bit, and I was with Atsuko, and and I was I'm like, Atsuko, I was calling her like mom, and then Ryan dad, because Asian mom and white
Yeah.
dad, and I was just like
There you go.
I was like,
Oh my God.
projecting that on so I was just very homesick. So I'm homesick mama's boy Asian, happy to be home. That's what kind of.
What were you doing in LA? Just doing like shows and shit, just hanging, or what?
I had a quick a shoot thing that
Hey.
I was playing an emo goth Asian.
Okay, yes, I saw this.
It was
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was actually pretty fun. Then I flew right back to New York. That's what I was doing.
Did
in LA.
any straight angry goth guys come at you and just be like, you're not real goth?
You're not Victorian. No, luckily the goth hive has not come for me yet.
Oh, I would
I'm
love that.
I would
The
love
goth- I
for the
would
goth
love
hive
the
to
goth
come
hive.
for
I would
me.
love
I
that.
was kind
They
of
would
goth
be-
in high school, so I mean, I don't know.
Were
We'll
you?
see.
Okay,
Wow.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. So, but luckily, no, they didn't come for me yet.
No, they're all in their coffins still. They're
Yeah.
they're bunk beds that they've repurposed into coffins. Oh, I'm gonna get. Oh, people are definitely. Jenny,
They're all
exactly.
sleeping like.
They're all just. They're all on Twitter, just like with their arms crossed on Twitter.
Kind of tweets to send to me. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared.
I realize
well,
I do a lot of physical bits, which translate right now, but I'm realizing this is a audio.
Yes, exactly. You gotta do it. You gotta. We need like a visual aid. You ever like watch a movie with that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jenny does her arms crossed, and it's really funny.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dylan, be careful if you get any mean comments in the form of an owl with a scroll. That's going to be. That's gonna be goth.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are here. This is it's bittersweet, okay? Because I want to say this is going to be like an annual holiday time tradition where we release a COVID episode. Okay, this is I think I was looking at the calendar. I could be wrong. I think this is the last episode of this year, the way we're sort of shaping it up. So every year we're going to release a COVID episode. This is the Omicron season. And we're kind of back where we started, which is like, I was getting real depressed about it. Like I was like hanging out on Saturday, just at my house with my wife. And I don't know about you guys, but like I took COVID, like the quarantine, like badly. I didn't like it. I was like real upset about it. I was like real moody all the time. And I was doing much better, and things were opening up and stuff. And Saturday I got like that, hello darkness, my old friend thing, where it just like came right back. Do you know what I'm saying? And all my shows got canceled. I did a thing on Monday that was like the last show I did, and because of that show, I was really careful. Like that show on Monday was really important, so I was like really careful. So I didn't do anything, and I think in some ways that kind of saved me because I wasn't out late for a lot of the week before. Then Tuesday I was supposed to do a show on Tuesday, 2 shows. They got canceled. Then Thursday was our own Hack City, which people who had bought tickets, sorry, you should have gotten a refund by now. But that was on Thursday. That got canceled, and we were like all stressing if we should even do that. So everything got eliminated, and that's like I just love stand up and I love doing it, and it went away, and it sucks. And I wanted to see how you guys are doing real quick, and what are the things you guys had to miss out on?
Maybe it's a little different because I'm not a stand-up comedian, so I don't perform as regularly. But I will say, for me, it's a little bit weird because I flew out to California last week, and I found out on my way to California that I was exposed. So I feel I feel lucky that I got out of New York because I landed here and it was very easy to get tested, whereas I know New York right now is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so in that way, I feel very lucky. I feel very lucky that I have a place to quarantine. I feel like the same, slightly different, but similar sensation to 2020, which is we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what next month is going to look like. And that's, I think, the part that weighs on me the most because I'm like...
Uncertainty.
Yeah, because we were making plans for shows, for gatherings, and, next year. And it's like that. We have no idea what that's going to look like. I don't know if we can... what travel will look like. I don't know what comedy will look like. And that's the part that weighs on me the most and is the sad part. And I also just feel sad because it's the holidays. So many people can't go home anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a true sucks. Point. I feel very lucky to be here. Once again, I got out like early, but I don't know. It's a weird time.
It is weird. And that actually kind of like transitions into the whole thing. The reason why I know you guys from the scene, but we're the 3 of us are on this thing, this group text message called Asian Prom. I don't know.
Committee.
I've called it the Asian Prom Committee. Yes.
That's
and
right.
I wanted to. This isn't too inside baseball, but this is like a thing, and like I wanted to talk about it because the 3 of us have been trying to organize what we're calling Asian prom. And this isn't for all Asian people everywhere. I'm talking about, this is really specifically an Asian prom for Asian comedians in New York City.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to have it. I even think we've booked the venue, right?
Yeah.
Book the venue.
We have the venue.
This is crazy. We booked the venue. It's supposed to happen in February on like a Saturday. But it's just a funny idea that first of all, what Asian Prom is it's essentially just a hangout that Asian comedians do. And I feel this is like, I wanted to talk about this in particular, just like the idea of it, because I feel it's very Asian to do this. I don't know why. Does it ever feel like that way to you? You know, like, oh man, this is such an Asian thing for all the Asian comedians to get together and like goof off, you know?
I guess I was thinking, like, if white people did this, that would be horrible.
Yeah, okay, that would
I
not.
know, but they do it anyway, and
That's true.
they don't call it white
That's
prom. They
true.
just call it a gathering.
Right.
I've been to them. I've been to them.
Oh
believe
shit,
me.
Dylan, really?
Yes.
That is so funny.
so
That
They
is
just
so
don't call
fucking
it
funny.
the white
Right.
prom.
Right.
Right.
It's just a gathering in Brooklyn, you know?
Right. Right, and this is the open mic that's happening underneath the bridge in Prospect Park. It's like,
Exactly.
okay,
Yes.
this is it.
Hosted by Eddie and Alice. But still,
Eddie and Alice, come
yeah.
through with your best sand jokes. Yeah, so good.
yeah, but I feel like I have been very fortunate to be that I came into the New York comedy scene where there
Yes.
was like a beautiful
Yes.
Asian community and feeling of that, and I went to some Jenny Yang hosted a little gathering and of Asians that I went to, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is how white people feel all the time, being just surrounded by their kin, and they could just talk, and it felt so cool. So then when I went to LA visiting Otsko, she organized a little gathering and then when Jenny came to New York, there was a gathering, and so now there's kind of a tradition of it kind of going on, and it feels really cool. And I got to meet a lot of cool people that I knew from online or people that I've heard of. So I think that's kind of how it came and then now we're planning it for February. That's how it came to be when we were at the last gathering.
Yes, this is I think Jenny Yang the one who kind of started this idea, because I feel it was either her or Otsko, because I feel that one of the two of them are the first who kind of did it in LA and then brought the tradition, I guess you could say, to New York.
Yes.
And it's always funny when it happens now, because the sort of sheep horn that you have, that burr, 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 you hear that, but it's on Instagram DM, but it's always you, Dylan. It's always Dylan is the one.
Dylan.
He's the one who's calling all of the council together. And it's going to be at this dive bar in Greenpoint. And we're like, okay, we're all going to do this. Yeah.
I know. And I've never been an organizer in my life. I've never been
Really?
one to corral people, but it got me very excited. And I also feel like I shouldn't be the only corraller, because there are a bunch of people who I don't know who should be so it's I ended up being the one who corrals.
Yes,
the
I
people.
see.
But
I do feel there are different subsects. I think there's I did this cool show a couple weeks ago, and it was a very Asian queer Asian group, and it was Jess Tom and Julia Shiplin and stuff like that, and that's another group. And I now feel it's when we have this assemblage, it feels in Michael Jackson, the one where he has the knife fight and there's all the different gangs showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all it's the straight Asian guys with the fleeces on.
I thought you were gonna go with a Marvel reference where all the different people came in.
Oh,
you're
dang, that's a better
Marvel-head.
one. Yes.
I thought you were gonna go with that one.
I should have done that. You're right. I'm definitely Wong, so that's me. Jenny, I think that's how we met. We met at the last Asian Prom.
Yeah, I mean, I love these Asian. So I think, once again, I'm not a stand-up comedian, so I feel I don't meet a lot of stand-up comedians. I meet a lot of improvisers and writers is my little corner of people.
Yeah.
And so I think that this has been awesome because I've met so many people, and I think that this has given me the confidence to make friends
Oh my god.
people.
Totally.
Truly.
I
I'm
had
like,
a bunch of-
you could just become friends with Asian people who are
I had
funny.
a bunch of friend crushes on people who I like wanted to meet, and I was
Oh,
like,
really?
And it's like I got to meet people in different like fields of like artists, like writer, and like
Yeah.
so it was like. It was so cool when I saw Jenny do it. So I'm like, we should have this too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I do think that there's a nice kind of thing happening. I think the pandemic kind of broke down a lot of barriers, because before this, like, comedy was almost entirely about who was in and out of your little tribe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even all the different Asian cliques, like it would be separate from each other, and then like stand up never talked to improv, and they never talked to the writers, and if you were this, it was all like it was like as separate as you could be, like on purpose. We were very protective of our own lanes, which I think was obviously very hurtful. But now, like, Asian Prom is like, I don't know. You ever like hear like a credit card commercial or a bank commercial where they're like, community, like, here at Bank of New York, we're all about community and spreading community. And I never got that until I went to Asian Prom, and I was like, oh my God, this is what this is. And it's so weird because I got into comedy to nurture my negative emotions. Those are the things I got into. I got into this to be angry and like feel like, "Ugh." But now instead of, I'm like, oh, I'm part of something beautiful.
This community is so supportive. I have to say, like, it is unbelievably supportive, and everyone is so nice. And it's just been like, as we all like get to know each other, everyone like introduces everyone to everyone and like reposts things, and I'm just like, wow, what a gorgeous community. I'm obsessed with it.
It is very nice. Okay, so we're supposed to have this thing, Asian Prom. It's supposed to happen like in like late February, and it's supposed to be like a real prom. I think we're like planning to have everybody dress up. It'd be kind of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be cool. And I was like, is this like a racist idea? Like, I was like trying to think about, okay, like, we're gonna invite people, right? And I'm like, I think I understand that this isn't this is like it's more about Asian comedy. It's not just like Asian people, and if you're not Asian you can't come or something like that. It's like, if you're a comedy Asian person and you fuck with the community like that, then you can come, But I was trying to think about like how it works, and I was like trying to think about, who do we invite to this? Are white boyfriends allowed? Are we allowed to invite white boyfriends?
Oh my God. I know. I guess maybe I did problematically in the text where like, leave your white spouses at home, but but like everyone isn't. I don't know. I'm half white. I can say it, but like I feel like everyone is definitely like, it was like, at like Jenny's stuff, like other people of color like were there, and it was like totally cool, and like everyone was vibing. But like, I don't know if you guys have found this, but I have found when there have been Asian gatherings of some sort, like I felt like very excited and like nervous, and then like, if there is like one white person there, they tend to like take up a lot of the space and like talk a lot and like do a lot of the stuff that and like, I don't like say anything because I'm like Japanese, but like but like a part of me is like, I want to talk to this person, stop talking to this person. I don't know, but maybe that's wrong of me to think like, okay, white, I don't know, white spouses are invited. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have something, Jenny. I want you to get in on this. Like, what are your sort of thoughts on it? Because I do have a thought about that as well.
I think that we have to just stick to the inclusive side. So it's like, we start with the Asian community, and you can bring whoever that is.
That's the
but
right
kind
way.
of feel that vibe. Let's vibe it out. Like, read the room. Like,
read the room.
If someone's gonna be, taking up the space a lot, then maybe let's put that aside for one night. Just read the room. Maybe we write that.
Yeah.
Plus one, but read the room.
Yeah.
Which is a very Japanese way of putting it. You know what I'm saying? Read the room. I feel Fumi has a way of saying, like, there's some Japanese term for this. I do think it is funny because there is like a thing where if you're in a big group of people of color and there's one white person, then like you kind of stand out and people are like, oh, let's look, like you kind of are afforded a little bit more space versus if it was the other way around. If you're like in a white crowd and you're Asian, like nobody talks, like you're like, it's unusual, I always think about, like on YouTube, that like YouTube's really got my number as far as like making me click on things which I don't want to watch, but I can't help but click on it because I get so upset. So one of them is white guys in Asia speaking Asian languages. That's like a whole, and like I'm like, it's always mind-boggling to me that you can just I speak another language, and that's an entire content stream.
Yes.
He has
That's an entire
5 million subscribers. I hate him. I'm sorry. I can't. He's like, I shock this Chinese restaurant by speaking the native tongue. And he's like all the comments are like, you're amazing. Keep it.
You're me. How do you do it?
Yeah. It's like Asian people can't like be like, I spoke English to this to this pub, to this bartender, and it's like that's
so
not
real.
content.
I'm like, my mom should have 5 million subscribers then. She freaking speaks English fluently.
Exactly. All of our moms should just be like, Asian mom blows away a mail clerk because she's able to return a package from Amazon.
Exactly.
Craziness. So we'll see if this Asian prom happens. Hopefully it does. Hopefully this Omicron thing is just like a quick wave and boom, we're right back to where we started, and it'll be cool. If you're enjoying our shit, please leave a review on the Apple Podcast app. And if you're on Spotify, you can hit follow, and also now on Spotify you can leave a review. So I think you can leave 5 stars. So make sure to do that on Spotify. And if you're on YouTube, checking us out on YouTube, leave a comment. Tell us where would you take your English speaking skills? Okay, leave a comment and tell us whose mind would you blow with your amazing English speaking skills. Hit subscribe, hit like. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us on the podcast app because that's how we get paid.
Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started taking athletic greens because I want a better gut health, man. I mean, fans of the podcast, me, Fumi, I've got a lot of diarrhea problems, okay? I'm just talking about, my stand-up is mainly about being Asian American and having diarrhea all the time, and I wanted to fix that. So I started taking athletic greens, and I've been taking it for about 6 weeks or something like that, and I absolutely love it. It doesn't taste like it's super healthy. It has kind of a mild tropical taste that I actually look forward to each morning. Mike describes it as matcha. I personally take it because I want to maintain better gut health and also just have more energy. Ever since I moved to LA, I've been feeling very lethargic, but this stuff helps me just kind of like, it's a nice booster to my day, and I absolutely love the way I feel when I'm on the thing. What's so cool about AG1 is that it's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. Tons of people take some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high-quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. And if you're not sold by now, Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews, and that is better than what our podcast grade is, according to iTunes. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/AsianNotAsian. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/AsianNotAsian to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
The next thing I wanted to talk about with our amazing guests, Dylan Adler and Jenny Arimoto, is this great tweet that Dylan had, which is just entirely me, and this is why I really fuck with you so bad. So you had this tweet go out, and this was like yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, yesterday.
Dylan had this great tweet, and it's a book that your mom. I'll read the tweet. It says, "My mom got this book to help me when I was getting bullied in middle school. I'm dying." And the book, it just says, the cover, the title is "Insults and Comebacks."
Yes.
And then you read some of these amazing comebacks that are on the inside, like let me see some of these things. Yeah, bite me.
That's right.
Bring
Take
it
a
on.
chill pill. And feel special now. You know, those are.
Talk to
I believe.
the booty, because the hand's off duty. Exactly.
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So I really liked it, and this is real, right, Dylan?
This is 100% real. When we were kids, me and my brother, I think we were too like we didn't know how to defend ourselves. We were very like sweet, like we couldn't like defend ourselves. So like when people would like, you know, bully me or my brother, like we didn't have anything to say back. And we would like tell our mom all the things that these kids were saying, and she was like, oh, you should have called him a butthead. Yo, you should have told him.
Devastating attack.
You know, like, you know, giving us. So she bought this book for my brother and I to get better at comebacks and insulting people. And it didn't help. It didn't help.
Right. Did not.
Very sweet thing for her to do.
Jenny, did you get bullied? I feel in the what are your sort of
I was never
history on it?
I think it was all like microaggression-y stuff, not so much like to my face.
And wait,
yeah.
Was it from like because you grew up in the Bay? Did you grow up in the Bay?
I grew up in the Bay,
okay.
But I went to private schools. So they're very like white, and I think I was like super shy and quiet, and
sure,
it's more like just not feeling. You're not part of the norm, you know. You're like I'm just. Everyone's like a tall, beautiful white person, and I'm just like there being small and like trying to be funny to have someone like me. So I think that was more it, but I never ever was like bullied where I would have to have an insults book. If I it never got to that point.
Which, by the way, wow, what an insulting thing to say, Jenny. Jesus.
It wasn't that bad that my mom had to buy me some whack-ass insult book. But to each his own, I guess.
To each his own.
I will say I love the little message that was like, love mom. Like,
I know, the message
right.
was, I love this book belongs to my sweet child, Dylan Adler.
My sweet baby boy.
Yeah.
And that's why I had it
sweet.
delivered to you during lunch period in full view of all of your tormentors.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel, Dylan, that I mean, you know, I'm obviously I hope your bullying wasn't that bad, but I feel you and your brother are almost like the kind of people who get bullied because when you're in middle school, you make fun of anyone who kind of is like sticks out in any way. And then it's like, oh, look at these two beautiful half Asian people. We got to make fun of them because I feel like a small shitty person now in retrospect. You know, so I don't know how your thing was.
Ugh, I wish. I think, you know, but, you know, I think there was like an element of like, you know, like I grew up, like I went to public school. It was like a lot of white people. And I think me and my brother were very different. Like we were also like feminine guys. So like that was something but also like in class, I was like, it was not cool at our school to care. Like it was like kind of one of those schools. It was like just be chill, like go through. And I like openly cared, and I asked questions. I would be the last to finish the test. I cared like so much that it's like people were like, but like they kind of tore me for that and stuff.
Right.
yeah.
But also probably because they were fucking jealous and
Yes, there you go.
Jealous.
Hair with that. You got beautiful hair.
jealous.
Yes. They wanted what they couldn't have.
Exactly.
They wanted what they couldn't have. They were all just.
Yeah, they all wanted to fuck me, and I was so unattainable. It's like, get in line.
Yeah. Every single one of these guys who was making fun of you, and you know, oh, you're so awkward, went home and just secretly cried in the closet
Like
about
jacked
just
off to me.
jacked off. Like, oh my gosh, you know. That's what the book should say. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the insults. It's like, oh, next time you think about me when you're jerking off, make sure you use your good hand. You know?
You're just projecting because you are homosexual and love me, and you are lashing out at me. Also, there's an Asian element.
Yes.
That was one of the comments.
Yeah, and then next to it, it's like, Dylan, I hope this helps. Love, Mom.
Dylan, I hope this helps.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I was trying to think about it, and I feel like, you know, I went through like a bad kind of phase when people were like bullying me, in middle school, and I don't know why. I can only think about I was a little taller than average. This is so weird. I'm really trying to rack my brain. I was a little taller than average, and I had wavy hair. I was basically Dylan, but straight. And I guess I was also, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I really wasn't sure. And I always think about, is there even a way to get back at somebody if they're bullying you? I feel like, I think about this all the time, Recently, in a couple episodes back, I was talking about how I didn't feel like necessarily like bullied, but I remember the feeling because I was having a bad time in jiu-jitsu. Try to edit that out, Fumi. And this guy was, it was like this whole thing, and I was like trying to think like if I was an adult and somebody was really bullying me now, what would I do? Because it's like, I guess you kind of just act like you don't care. I guess that is kind of one way, or you call them out for being homophobic and you actually, you're trying to fuck me. I feel one of those two ways are pretty effective, but I don't know what your thoughts are.
When people are bully you or are mean to you, it's just a reflection of where they're at in life. Like they're unhappy with something themselves, dissatisfied, whatever it is, or like, very insecure. And so I feel like I've found that ignoring, if it's online, ignoring is like the best thing. But also the second thing is like being toxically positive. like just like being just like, you're incredible and I hope that made you feel better because you're so gorgeous and amazing. Like love you. Almost like siding with them. You're like, yeah, that's right, I am a piece of shit. I feel like that almost like
kill him with kindness.
Yeah, makes people angrier because what they want is a fight. And so like almost sometimes not giving them the satisfaction of fighting is because if you're confident enough or feel good enough to do that, engaging with that.
I know. I kind of felt like when I was in high school, middle school, I didn't have like the tools to even like fight back or like say shit. And now I feel like there's like a part of me that's like, if someone comes for me now, they're fucking done. Oh my God, they're fucking. But also like when it comes to like online or like in-person stuff, like when I have like early on when I would like something would go like kind of, and then I would get comments that were bad, I would like kind of engage and like be like, look at this piece of shit, my followers, get him. But it's like it adds on, it just like doesn't add, it adds more stress, it just adds more. I mean, like I feel like in certain, maybe if it's like in person, like you can like defend yourself or like but in my experience, when it comes to that, it's just added more stress to me when I come for them or like in person or online, like whatever.
Totally.
Yeah.
I do think that I just had this thought where I do think that the most annoying thing you can do is ask, oh, why did you say that? Just ask like the why. Because my friends, I don't talk to anymore, have, whenever they would say things that were kind of mean, I'd be like, haha, oh, wait, well, why did you say that?
Yes.
And then they'll get even angry. And I'm like, no, I really just want to know, like, where does this come from? And I've noticed that actually is maybe the most effective method because you therapy them.
Yes. Get them a little free therapy, the therapy session. That's why we're all in grad school for masters in therapy. It's to get back at bullies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Jenny, did you use, which technique did you use on your most recent trip down the Reddit toxic masculinity rabbit hole?
I haven't engaged. I will randomly choose when I engage. But almost always it's agreement with their mean thing. I'm just like, you're so right. Like if I were to engage with them, I'd be like, oh, you're so right. Asian women shouldn't do a single thing ever again, and just kind of like agree to the point that they feel bad. But that's usually when I'm feeling spicy or I'm bored, which is kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll see what happens.
I do feel that's like a very I don't know if it's Asian or not, but it's very me to kind of like, you can't hit what doesn't even exist. I just like disappear. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just like try to punch me and I just like become smoke and then I become the fist that's punching. I'm like, I am you. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's like the most fucked up thing, and then you get in their heads. But Anyways, that's a whole thing.
great.
I can't wait to see what else you come up with, Dylan, such that we can then talk about it on the podcast.
What's up, anals? It's New Year resolution time, and guess what? Did you know January is National Mentoring Month? Did you know that? And you can use that month to become a big. For every 3 boys, there's only 1 male mentor in NYC. We need more Asian mentors. Sign up by visiting the site at 100friends.chowmag.com. If you choose to sign up, there's a place on the website that asks you how you heard about this opportunity. So please write that you heard about it on the Asian Not Asian podcast if you want to become a big. Apparently, a lot of the people who sign up are Asian finance bros, which is totally fine, but I think they're trying to get all kinds of bros for this program to become a big. So if you're an anal and you're not a finance bro, but you're interested in helping the kids out for the community, please consider becoming a big at 100friends.chowmag.com. That's 100friends.ciaoomag.com. Go ahead and visit that website to become a big.
Again, this is kind of like the last episode of the year. Can I say it started off shitty? We had like the almost insurrection / overthrow of the United States government. Shouts to my fellow Viets who were there, and we. And then things got better, and like it wasn't too bad, and vaccinations, blah 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 blah, and then things got now. I think it was honestly pretty good until like a week ago. Mm-hmm. So that's how quickly things can change.
Yeah.
But I wanted to very quickly just have a little quick recap of like best and worst of 2021. Like just whatever it is. It could be anything. And I don't know if anyone wanted to go first and had some quick thoughts on best and worst of 2021. Is it 2021? Is that the year?
Yeah.
I sometimes forget. I swear to God.
Same.
It's
Okay.
It's 2021. It's wild. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I sometimes feel like the other day I got like a calendar invite at work and it was like 2022, and I was like, you guys got it wrong. It's 2023 next year, and like I swear to fucking God, I thought we had already gone through it or some shit. I don't know. It was all fucked up in my head.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with the worst, and then I'll do best to end on.
Okay. Go.
Okay, worst I would say is this year end has been awful. It's like when you have the taste of something good and then it just is like taken away. Has been like so sad. And like the being on the internet right now, which is what we're all doing, is just like a depressing hellhole of like everyone feeling sad. So the sadness feels like 10x worse than if I was just sitting here not on the internet. But at the same time, I can't not be on the internet. So I would say that right now is probably the worst part of this year.
Okay.
And then the best part and the best thing, and I'm going to do a theme, is that I feel like I've put myself out there. And I think that is an outcome from 2020 because because the year sucked so hard, and you just like, and this is kind of like everyone discovering themselves. I was like sitting at home being like, this sucks. The world literally can just end at any point. Yeah. Like your livelihood could be taken away, like whatever. So why not just do whatever you want? And so I think this year was the first year I really started like putting myself on the internet, because my mentality before was like, who wants to hear from me? Like I'm not the funniest person. There are better actors, there are better writers, like whatever. I was like very in my head about that. And it was like the beginning of this year where I was like, what? Who cares? Like I have sketch ideas that I was saving for Mod Night at UCB. And now it's like
so good.
And I was like, I'm just gonna put them on the internet. Like I can't do anything else anyways. I'm by myself. And so I started putting on the internet, and that's like part how I met a lot of people, and I also just felt more confident being like, oh, people like the stuff that I'm writing, and there's like putting myself out there in that way. But also socially, I just started reaching out to people that I want to be friends with, because I was like, the world can end. I'm gonna just become friends with who I want to become friends with. And so that's the other side of putting myself out there, is like I just made friends and like met awesome people weirdly, and as an outcome of this pandemic. And I think that has also been awesome, because now I feel like I have a community in New York, and that's been hugely helpful for my mental health, and for feeling happy and like feeling like I belong and loved and all that stuff.
Dang, I love it. I love the idea. For me, I always feel I don't really like doing New Year's resolutions, but I will do a New Year's theme, like a New Year. Okay, this year I'm going to do this. And I definitely had one for this year, which was I'm not going to submit any more things. I'm not going to write anymore. Like, the whole, like, I'm going to write a pilot for a TV show. Everybody was like all about that during the pandemic. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And as soon as I stopped doing that, I felt better. I remember, I don't know, did you guys submit for Jon Stewart that he had a packet go around?
Oh, the
this
infamous
whole thing.
packet.
The famous
oh my God, yes, the famous packet. Yes, everybody remembers it.
Yeah.
I remember. So if people don't know, Jon Stewart has a new show on Apple TV, I think, and the packet request got leaked, and so anyone could submit, and it was like this whole thing. And now we know some people who are on it, and it's a great show. But I remember getting this packet and thinking, I do not give a fuck. I do not want to do this. I opened up my like Word doc, and I think the packet was literally just like write like a monologue or something. And I swear to God, I wrote a letter directed to Jon Stewart about why, just like me rambling, and I was like, there's like, it's like a 99% chance he thinks this is crazy, but at least it'll make me feel better. And 1% chance, hey, maybe he thinks this will be funny. Who knows? So it was like the last thing I did, and I stopped doing any more packets and writing anymore. If my manager's listening to me, I'm sure he'll drop me now because I was like, I'm not doing any more of this shit. And it felt a lot better. So, but real quick, Jenny, do you have a theme you might want to go into next year?
I think it's more of the same, but I think I want to be, I think the internet stuff is great, but my brain is becoming like internet brain now, which is like, I'm only thinking about things that can be made that's like a minute long written in a tweet. And I'm all right, let's start thinking like long term. I can't, not everything is going to be 1 minute long or under whatever, 240 characters. So I think next year I want to like focus on let's like get back into like writing things that are, because I like writing the longer stuff. It's just I get rewarded for making a 30-second video. So I think I need to start like being like okay with maybe not being so obsessed with like likes and views and stuff, and just kind of going back to like creating things for myself. So living for myself, that's the theme.
Whoa, that is not a good idea. Not for your career, baby. Come on now. What does writing for yourself even mean? No, I think that sounds great. I think, you're very talented, and it's going to be great. We can't wait to see what happens. Dylan,
Same.
I want to hear your best, worst 2021.
Yes, I will start with the worst. The worst for me was pandemic of earlier this year, and me and my gay twin brother decided we wanted to start a podcast. And we were gonna call it Memoirs of a Gaysian Twins. We're like, it sells itself. It's gonna be a hit. We're gonna have. And so we ordered microphones off Amazon, and then we started recording the podcast. The first episode led to a fight between us.
Oh my God.
Because he brought up how he had better grades than me. It got personal. I brought up how I was better at piano than him.
Oh.
It got heated. We stopped it in the middle of the episode, and I called off the podcast. And then my brother like Venmo requested for like the $10 for the $20 microphones that we got off Amazon. That was a low point. I'd say that was a low point.
Wow.
Does that recording exist?
Does that exist?
Oh, it's
oh my
there.
God.
You must.
You have to save
at some
this.
point release.
One day. Well, the Patreon tier, you know what? $100, $1,000 Patreon tier.
Absolutely.
At one point, I'm going to make that $1 million, and my high school bully will buy it to listen to it, I'm sure.
Some goth kid will buy it. It'll be great.
Goth kid will buy it. Yeah, I guess. But the high point for me in 2021, honestly, was I feel like making and feeling like I've made a lot of close Asian friends and like people who I feel like are in my community that I feel very connected to that I really didn't have before. And that is something that has really filled me up and that makes me feel really happy. And honestly, and also Ronnie Chang followed me on Instagram and I freaked out.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, of course. Ronnie loves you. Yeah.
I love Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean, for best worst, I think best, definitely sort of want to echo what you two have said it just as far as like the other previous Asian proms were great. They have been super fun. I remember at one of them, it ended and then everybody went somewhere else to kind of like do another kind of like after party hang.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go because I think I had to wake up for the next day for work, which really bummed me out. So,
I remember that.
But I was like, this is how much I wanted to hang out with everybody because it was such a good time. So that's cool. I love that. Worst, for a while I was growing out my hair. Do not recommend. I do not like it. It was real weird. I didn't know who I was when I was looking in the mirror. I swear to God, I think there's some sort of weird horror story here where the longer my hair gets, the older I get. I swear to God. It was so weird. I was like, by the week, I was like aging a year. And I shaved my head and I became young again. It's crazy. Oh, wait, Dylan, do you have any kind of theme or New Year's resolution thing you want to go into next year?
Yes, kind of bouncing off what Jenny was talking about. I feel like there's a lot of things that I felt a little overwhelmed in that I was saying yes to everything this year, which is like, I feel like when you start out, there's a mentality of like, say yes to everything.
Yeah, say yes to everything.
But I think the moments I've said no to things to make room for shit that I actually really care about is like when I felt the most like full, even if it wasn't the most like immediately like rewarding in the moment. Like when I've said no and made space for something that I actually wanted. And so that's kind of what I want to like broadly, as well as like keeping on like the Asian community and like friends that I've made. And like, I think those are the two things that I want.
What I hope is that there is some Asian kids listening to this podcast and going, wow, this sounds so cool, like such a cool like scenes happening. You know, like I sometimes will go to the museum and they'll talk about like the punk scene in New York from like 1960 something to 1981, or they'll talk about these different things. And I have to remind myself that like we're in one of those scenes. Maybe one day there'll be like a Netflix documentary about all the crazy Asian kids that were hanging out. And they're one old Asian podcast dad that was like, oh, we're all hanging out and having a good time. And it culminated in this crazy Asian prom that happened in February of 2022. And, you know, as we all know, that fateful night, there was a terrible fire and many of them died. But for one brief moment, it was beautiful. So yeah, if you're listening and you want to get in on this, you want to get in on this community, just you know, open up a Bank of America account because that's who's sponsoring this podcast. Dylan, Jenny, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having
and
us.
for making this straight Asian man's heart just swell, okay, this holiday season.
Mike,
okay,
Dad, I believed in you, and guess what? You were great.
You were amazing. You know, I was maybe less believing in you, but you proved us wrong, and you
turned Jenny around.
You turned me around.
I did.
I already knew.
I loved it. Jenny, where can our fans find you?
You can find me on social media anywhere at Jenny Arimoto. And if you're obsessed with watching sketch comedy, you can watch the sketches I wrote at www.jennyarimoto.com.
Woo! And Dylan, how about you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Dylan Adler _, and then on Twitter at Dylan Adler 6, and on TikTok at Dylan Adler 7.
Whoa, love it.
I'm obsessed with hearing Dylan's credits because this is our second podcast we did together, and I love hearing it.
I know. Teenagers took it before I could. It's a shame.
They got there.
Oh, man. I love it. Yeah. I want you to have a YouTube channel, which is just like Topo Chico Reviews _ Dylan Adler. You know, it's just like completely nonsensical. Like, it's an old one back when I was really into Topo Chico.
Yeah.
So
it's probably
I love it.
White guy talking about Asian culture with a billion subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
Big billion subscribers. Yeah. So, and if you want to check us out, we're on Instagram and all the platforms at Asian Not Asian Pod, and you can find me personally, Mike Nguyen, at Nice Pants Bro. I want to say come check out one of our shows, but Lord knows if we're gonna have one. But I will read them off anyways, real quick. The next Hack City is scheduled for January 14th. God, that's like so quick. I don't know if the wave will crash over by then. it's scheduled for January 14th. That's at 7 o'clock at Union Hall. The next week, Fumi and I are supposed to go. This is making me so sad. Just saying this out loud. We're supposed to be at SF Sketchfest, the 21st and 22nd. Just go to SF Sketchfest. Fumi's doing a headlining set. I'm doing a couple of shows, and hopefully we'll be around, and it'll be cool. And yeah, that's it. Any final words, Jenny or Dylan?
Love you.
Love you.
Oh.
Asian prom committee.
Asian
Unite.
prom committee.
Unite.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really need to work on that.
Yeah.
That's the next meeting.
We'll work on it.
Okay, yeah. Who knows? Okay, so if all goes well in late February, there'll be an Asian prom, and it'll be, if you're an Asian prom ally, you can come hang. Yeah, thank you so much, and until next time, we'll see you. Bye.
Bye.